Hey, what's up, guys? Elliott and Morgan here, back with another review for The Shape of Water. As you can see, we slept around close because we're so dedicated to getting these reviews out to you guys for the year end. So, with that being said, we're going to talk about The Shape of Water. So, thank you for tuning in, and let's get into this review. Alrighty, so as we normally do, I like to keep the spoilers away from you guys so you can enjoy the cinematic experience. So with The Shape of Water, we're just going to touch on the things that we like to touch on, which is the story, the characters, the direction by the great Guillermo del Toro, our score, and then we'll throw in some other things what we liked and what we didn't like about the film. So with that being said, the story of The Shape of Water, as you can tell by the trailer and when you read the synopsis, it's a love story. It's a story about a young lady played by Sally Hawkins, Elisa, who is a mute, who doesn't speak, but she's able to communicate with a creature that is found by the U.S. government. Story takes place in the Cold War era, so we're placed in the beautiful black backdrop of that time. So it's a love story, romantic love story about a creature and a human, and we watch it play out.
Always have to have a villain.
You have to have a villain, yeah.
Always.
So, with the story being said, keeping the spoilers away, I thought that the film did a good job of displaying, again, as you mentioned when we saw the movie, this movie is heavily focuses on two people that can't communicate verbally.
Yep.
So it's all in the eyes, which, Sally Hawkins, I'm pretty sure she's going to get nominated for some Best Actress awards here in the future. Her portrayal of the character of being a mute, her smiles, her sadness, her happiness, it's just played beautifully, which, it's touching on the character, but I don't want to touch on the story a little bit, but she does a great job of taking us on this journey.
Right.
As well as, just a story that was told to us by Guillermo, this romantic story, and also a pretty funny movie as well at times, a scary movie. It had a lot of different elements that I like. What did you think about just the story that we got?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. To be honest, I remember when we first saw the trailer, Elliot was like not into it. It kind of, I'm a Capricorn, so I'm like easily affected by other people. So I was like, I don't want to see it. So I was a little bit turned off, but then we were just like, you know what? Let's just go check this movie out. Yeah. And I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. And I enjoy Guillermo del Toro. I know one of the last movies I saw that he directed was Crimson Peak. Elliot's going to say he hated it.
It just wasn't for me.
It was for me.
It looked beautiful, but
and that also was kind of a love story. So anyway, I just think I know I'm talking about the director now, but he does a really good job, and the story did a really good job of having so many different elements. I mean, it was a love story, but it was scary at times.
Yeah, I mean, it had a creature in it.
It was funny.
It had a little bit of monster elements to it.
Yeah. But I did enjoy it. I really enjoyed Sally Hawkins' performance. I guess we can kind of get into performances. But, I was talking to Elliot, and I was just saying, this movie it's a hard story to execute, really, because you have to get someone who is going to believe in this kind of fairy tale world. Yeah. And then also, two of your main characters are mute. They don't talk. Yeah. And it's all about their nonverbals. And then also there's two really great supporting actors that really help Sally or Elisa her character speak, right? So we have Octavia Spencer, who plays Zelda. And then we have Richard Jenkins, who plays her neighbor. And they both do a phenomenal job of working with her and talking for her, really. And then at first I'm like, oh, it's kind of weird, like it's a creature, but it was a beautiful story. It really was. And even when there were scenes with just them, it's like just their nonverbals. It was really clearly communicated on how they felt. And then I will say Michael Shannon's character is like somebody you love to hate, right? So he just always does a good job too.
Yeah, and I mean, to the point of the characters and performances, like I said, Sally Hawkins definitely is going to get awarded for her performance. Octavia Spencer with her character did a great job of just being that friend that verbalizes her emotions and speaks for us, and she really brought the comedy to the screen. She does a great job at that. Doug Jones as the creature. I thought the creature was played beautifully. It was great to see a non-CGI character brought to the screen. All practical effects.
So realistic.
It brought the realism to the movie, and you can, it's always nice when you can see the character touch and feel something, interact with something versus like a green screen. So Doug Jones, as he normally does with Guillermo, his movies, he normally plays a creature in his movies, Hellboy and things like that. So he did a great job. And like you said, her neighbor played a beautiful job, did a good job as the friend. Was there to support her at times in need. And then also Michael Shannon. I'm a big fan. I mean, anything Michael Shannon, and sometimes he's not in the best movie sometimes, but his performance is always A+.
He's just a grizzly guy.
Yeah, I mean, literally, the guy, I couldn't even imagine meeting him because he just looks like if he
like
smiled,
I want to be his friend, but I feel
weird.
like he would scare me.
Yeah, he plays a great villain. And,
he
Guillermo does a great job of playing. You see the human side of Michael Shannon's character because he is the villain in this film. There are some elements you see the not bad side of him, which played out well because he's not just an evil, menacing villain throughout the film. Some may say that he's the actual monster versus the creature in this film, but I think he did a great job, which leads into the direction. Guillermo, there's some movies that I'm like you said, Crimson Peak. I'll just pull up some lists of movies that the movies I do enjoy.
Labyrinth, I don't think you've ever seen.
I haven't seen it, which is crazy, but I heard it's like his best film. But I love Blade 2. That's I'm not guilty pleasure. It's a good film. Blade 2 I liked. Hellboy is good. Hellboy 2, Pacific Rim, hit or miss. But, I think this is one of his first films where, whenever he does a movie, he puts his stamp on the movie. And that's another thing about the direction. This was a beautifully shot film.
Oh, my God.
From the sound design to the color palette they chose to the direction of certain angles they put in the film. And also his directing style or directing skills and directing his actors was a highlight of this film. What did you think about Guillermo's directing?
The same. I mean, like I said before, he does such a good job of adding so many different elements. I mean, you're literally watching a comedy, a love story, and a horror movie all at once, So he did a great job.
Yeah. And I would say, and we'll wrap up this video here, but, we talked about the positive. There were some things that I could have went without, which was there's some subplots for some of our supporting characters that I thought could have been shaved out completely because it didn't really pay off. It was more of there's a certain character that has a moment in the film and a storyline that plays out that I guess drove them to do certain things in the movie, but I thought it could have just worked even without that subplot. Yeah. And also, too, and not giving away the ending, but the ending was kind of a bittersweet moment because you just kind of wonder what happens to some of the characters after the fact, that they were just kind of, their storyline didn't really have it
didn't bother me as much as it bothered Elliott.
But I mean, those are just not minor things, but they were things that bothered me through the film that didn't make it a perfect film.
I would agree. There were some plot points for a few characters that I just felt were not necessary for us to watch this movie. And with that being said, the movie's long and it felt long at some points.
Yeah, it's over
where it was just like
minutes.
He kind of drawn out a little bit in some areas. But if those plot points were gone, the few that I would take out, I might give it a little bit of a better rating. But
go right ahead, ladies first. What was your score?
I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5,
I did enjoy it. I mean, it was good, and I think the story is really what it was to me was don't judge a book by its cover, and just give people the benefit of the doubt, or creatures the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
So it was a good movie. 4 out of 5 for me, and I'm only just giving it a 4 out of 5 because there were some plot points that I don't think were necessary to really give us the story we needed to see.
Sure. And then your 4 out of 5, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3 out of 5. I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5. I think it's still a good film, but there were, like I said, the ending to me didn't work as well because it was just some characters that just really they just kind of left that out. And also too, just like Morgan was saying, there was a subplot in the film that could have been taken out completely for me that would have made the film a little bit more tighter and move a little bit more better and get more what we wanted for certain characters to be on the screen more than when we got with the character that did get a little of the screen time that I didn't really enjoy. So with that, 3.5 out of 5 for me, 4 out of 5 for Morgan. So it was a good film for me, great for Morgan, but we would love to know what you guys thought of The Shape of Water. It's getting so much buzz for Oscar contender, for Best Picture, Best Director, things like that. So I would love to know if you guys agree with that. And as always, we would love to continue this conversation on our social media accounts. As you can see right here, follow us there if we continue that conversation. And as always, guys, thanks for tuning in to our review for The Shape of Water. We'll be having another review. We're actually done for our reviews for the year. We're going to have our top 10 list coming for you guys soon. So definitely keep an eye out for that. As usual, guys, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys again. Hey, what's up, guys? If you enjoyed that video, do us a favor, hit the thumbs up button, and also share this video amongst all your friends and family, as well as subscribe to our channel. And as usual, guys, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys again.